So this next one, understanding the creatures and revelation. I'm going through this, and we have a dragon who tries to drown the woman who is pregnant and going to give birth. We have a serpent, which is understood to be a dragon that is, called Satan. We have there's more than one dragon. There's the Leviathan, these serpent creatures. And I was remembering how I was going to go to sleep, and what my soul, my spirit normally does is, feel for the right moment, because I call near earth very dense. The energy, the entities are lower vibrations. I call that near earth. Some people call it second heaven. And I look for the opening, and I shoot past that into like some field, some wild place that's secluded, and I could just rest in peace. That is part of trauma conditioning, the leaving of the body. And one time when I did this, I popped up a big red dragon, snapped down as if on me, noticed I was still there. It was like, I didn't eat you. I was like, yeah, no, that's because this isn't my body. I'm really, and it's looking at me. It's very, and I'm bringing my consciousness back to my body. I'm popping out of bed because it's following me like, who is this one? And I just got up, got busy, focus here. I don't know nothing. I did just me. You don't need to. And then wait until I felt like I wasn't being watched anymore. Go back to sleep, and obviously I found a way out. And then I was remembering being woken up where I was and being told, get in the house. There was a farmhouse, and my daughter's consciousness was sleeping there. I was sleeping out in the fields with my son. Go figure. And the warning was, the men who become wolves are coming. Quick, in the house. Everybody in the house is boarding it up. My daughter's getting possessed. I'm casting the demon out of her, and all of a sudden, both me and my son's father are waking up and grabbing onto my daughter and waking her up. And so it occurred to me, it's all sinking into me as I'm approaching, sharing what I understand and what I've learned of this topic with you. Because I also saw like a black dragon recently open its mouth and water like come at me, but I wasn't feeling threatened like I was gonna drown. It was just like, okay, what does this mean? And now all of a sudden I'm full of understanding and comprehension and dots connecting and understanding experiences and metaphors and meanings and all these bits and pieces. It was scripture or the new age, the Anunnaki research. It was all so separate, and it was like I was flipping like a coin from one vibration to another, but somehow they're connected. They have to be, because I'm finding truths here that people on this side will not share, or they lost, and so there had to be. And so now it's all coming together. I'm understanding who's what, playing what role, even though it's by a different name. Oh, this one over here who goes by this is that fallen angel, that watcher. Like whoo, it's coming together. So that dragon was delivering life-giving water, because understanding comprehension is light. It is life. And so this black dragon was delivering this to me. What is black? Condensed light. What is source? And when you pray, and you're praying to source, hey, I'm the source of every pain on earth. I think I'm going to come answer as source. You're just calling out to source. Man, you got to have a picture in your mind. But when I picture, non-gendered, formless, limitless being, I look at the sky and it's all black. And little things like, I used to watch Charmed, the series, every episode, because they just replay it from first season to last on one channel, like TNT or something like that. It's probably still on today. Going through it, like it was last summer when I was in the hotel room. I wasn't watching it then, but I noticed it was on every day, like it always has. But at the end, the culmination, they're good, fighting evil, and the demons are real in their experience. And then the demons and the white witches have to work together until they realize source is this dark thing, and they're both looking at each other like, this was the most unexpected, and it never gets any further than that. That's where the series ends. So that this dragon was black does not denote to me automatically evil. And that brings us to Revelation chapter 6. The source of who these ones are is available to us. We're getting it from the demons. If you ask the afraid of any knowledge outside of the word. This is my God. If it's not in here, it cannot be true. And who told you what's allowed to be in there? I believe them. Really? Okay. Did you know them's renamed one of the books of the Bible after a king? Did you know them's took out this one that gives you vital information for your salvation? No, it couldn't have. It wouldn't be. Why wouldn't it be? You can yell at your kid and call them the worst, most vile names, but it could never be that another human being would be one of those things. You'll attribute it to your child, but you would not attribute it to some dead guy. So, the king's executioner, the fallen angels who want to place their thrones above God, have to mimic, what does it mean to be God? Okay, he's got his kingdom, then I need it just like this, and then mine will be greater than his, but it will be a kingdom, and I know what a kingdom is because that's what his kingdom looks like. So, I need an executioner. Here comes somebody who just enjoys killing things. They have their role. And Revelation chapter 9. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the air were darkened by reason of smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men who have not the seal of Elohim in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he strikes a man. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had their hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name is the Ivrit tongue is Abaddon. But in Yahavani tongue has his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there came 2 woes more hereafter. So, I'm just reading it to see if there's anything further that applies to this. It just may. Because as we read after 13, and the 6th angel sounded the trumpet, a number of army of horsemen were 200,000, and it describes the heads were as of lions, so teeth, just like the other ones, the teeth, and they were, by these 3 was a third part of men killed by the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths, for their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. And the rest of the men which were not killed by these plagues yet repented not of the works of their hands, and that they should not worship demons and idols of gold and silver and brass and stone and of wood, which neither can see nor hear nor walk. Neither repented they of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their thefts. So again, these beings with tails, like scorpions, like serpents. Now, we've been conditioned. We hear locusts, grasshoppers transformed to be very hungry beasts eating everything everywhere. Grasshoppers are small. They're annoying. The sound is just stirs us up. Like, we hate the sound. It's just grating, like a cicada. Like, ooh. But a cicada sings, and I know it is going to be one hot, sweltering day. They're the informers. Like, oh, it's going to be a hot day. Okay, I'm planning on being in the shade. So that kind of sound is still not. So can we picture something as tall as our ceiling, maybe even taller, with a tail that can sting like the movie's Alien, with the armor that looks like iron, like it's black armor, the heads, the helmeted heads, anything on their head is like a crown. It can be called a crown. Everybody's, different cultures have different shaped crowns, and the breastplates as of armor. So it's like an outer crustaceous shell that we're talking about. And if you go over into the astral legends, where they're tying together all kinds of sources of information, feeding it into AI, and then AI conveying the stories, it tells us about these entities. What it says about these entities is that they never take any side. They don't take the draconian side. They don't take the Confederation or the Federation. I think there's two different ones. The Federation, the Galactic Councils, and all that. They perceive themselves as the good guy. But occasionally, like, they haven't been able to recruit these beings to them, to their side, but they quite often find them working in accord with their purpose. So they're just incidental allies on occasion. So these Galactic Federation beings, entities, angels, gods with a small g, like, we got to find another designation for Yahuwah besides Elohim, because that's where the confusion comes. Because Yahuwah is El Shaddai, outside of all of it. There's just no comparison. But that's all we have. So there you go. And these entities are more ancient than any other angels, aliens, beings within the cosmos. They predate them. By their genetic makeup does not resemble any biology of any small g god, angel, man, being, however you want to designate them. It's all the same thing. There's an accident going on up there. I hear screeching tires. I'm just waiting for the bang. Like the highway's up there. Our car's gonna come crashing down the hill on me. I don't know. It didn't happen. So, like these ancient beings, the screeching comes when I speak of them. Could be a thing. Whose genetic makeup does not match anything else's genetic makeup. Predating, absolutely, like nobody knows anything about them except they serve on the side of good. And the thing about them is they can portal in a non-linear fashion. Like all these other things are limited. They have to have location where they're present and location, destination, and go. They can whoop past, future, like they can. There's no linear thing about it. Like, woo, I think I'm gonna do a loop-de-loo time warp over here before I come out here and snatch that one out of the picture before something bad happens in the future. So they nobody can defend against them. There's just no way. Like, there's no defense against them. There's no making an ally of them. There's no. But what does it say? They're not allowed to harm those with the seal of Yahuwah. And I know I have that seal. Like, I don't say that. I'm just saying, like I know I have breasts. I know I have fingers. I know I have this seal. And as I've shared before, this turtle-looking thing, something with a shell like a turtle and the face like teeth and claws, and comes through the veil, and it's just standing before me as if it doesn't even see me, and then something catches its attention and it's like, whew, gone. Like, I'm gonna be one of those people, these big, huge things with scorpion-like tails, terrorizing people, and I'm just gonna, first I'm gonna close my eyes. I don't see it, because I might be inspired to fear, and I'm to fear nothing, so I might just close my doors. That may be the 3 days of darkness that people prophesy about. I don't know. But these are, over at Astral Legends, where all this information is shared in a corrupted way. I'll get to that. They explained they are neutral in gender. They lay eggs around a heat source like a volcano in an atmosphere full of plasma. In May of this year, they found millions. Let me see, let me get the right number, because I know you people, you like to have everything precise. Just Google it. Eggs around the underwater volcano, British Columbia. I didn't write it here. But an insane number of these giant eggs found around an active volcano in British Columbia. That's near Canada. That's like very close. Well, it's the opposite side of the continent as me, so they'll be the first to get it. Oh no, because they can portal non-linearly through time, and never mind, scratch that. I could be on top of the first appearance, I don't know. But they say that it's the Pacific white skeet eggs, and it takes 4 or 5 years for them to hatch. Okay, people who are into animals and ocean biology didn't have this knowledge before, but now it's, oh yeah, no, we've known this forever. They always present it that way. Oh yeah, no, this is nothing new, nothing to worry about. The water is full of plasma, full of living cells. Life comes out of the water. They're in a sulfuric atmosphere because it's an active volcano, and we are in the time that all the stuff described in Revelation is supposed to be happening. We already know these trumpets have been started. They've already been blasting. We already know, like those of us in tune, like I have heard, and this was years ago, a trumpet blow in heaven. I went, well, I don't know what that means. I guess I better start reading my Bible again. Like, oh, this stuff is real. But yeah, like I was saying, if you go over there to Astro Legends TV YouTube channel to find out more about these small g gods and their version of the story, they'll tell you point blank, honest, these are the roles that these entities did. These are the vile things. These are the wars that they were fighting. This is what they did to humanity, the genetic manipulation. And they express it like, you know, I went to town and I bought a gallon of milk and brought it home. There's no, oh, we did this bad thing. Or, no, they are perfect. The good guys are genetically manipulating humans, okay? And it's all good for them. That's just what they do. And so they go through, any normal person's gonna be like horrified, and then they get to the terrans. Those are the human beings. And it presents our history just like it presented all the others. We're just another species within the cosmos who has been genetically manipulated by many variety of other species. And the knowledge is to get you to reach the 5th dimension, to unlock all of your potential, because we love you and we hate to see you suffering like this. But don't point you to Yahuwah, it points you to the New Age ascension things. So after all this horrification, within which the example exists of those on Nibiru who turn to the contract, to follow the contract, not blow up the mountains, not leave the planet, just return to fulfilling the contract. Can we say covenant, law, Torah, contract? They turned to following the Torah before another guy got fed up and took over and said, no, we ain't doing that. We're blowing this volcano up to reactivate it, to restore our atmosphere. Who knew? And do we not read this description of a furnace and the whole earth being darkened? Middle Ages, the Dark Ages, because a volcano went off and filled the air with volcanic dust and nothing, blocked the sun, and nothing could grow for a little while. That actually restores the air, our bubble. It sucks when it's first injected into it, but it's actually a restorative thing. And these beings that are older than time itself, who nobody can attribute, that's where they lay their eggs. So they are from when everything was being formed. And every king has its executioner. Yahuwah, El Shaddai is just outside of everything. Whoa! I want that one. Yes, I want that one for all time. No, stay away. No. Guys, go take care of that. We're gonna move this one here. Thought you were gonna get it. This one's mine. And doing that. All within creation. Gathering, scattering. And that's what hit me when I was reflecting on these dragons and being called from places. I was like, I shouldn't be outside my body when I fall asleep. Yahuwah is going to come to me to give me instruction. I should stay in my body when I fall asleep. But, traumatized, they train you to leave your body. Vacate, because that's where it's safe. It's not safe in the body. The bodies were created, people interpret it as leather. We were given a system. We were plasma beings. We were given a shield, a body to protect us in this environment because our light was weak. We needed something else. And so we were given blood to inhabit and bones and skin to give it structure so we could affect and navigate. Because if we were still just plasma, we wouldn't be able to do this. We wouldn't be able to feed ourselves. We wouldn't be able to prolong or endure out here in the darkness where the louche, the adrenochrome, Yahuwah said, let the dust of the earth be food for you. In other words, if you can get past the skin that I gave them because they are not living in covenant with me, that soul is yours. That's your food. You can eat that. They're bottom feeders. They are the lobsters of the ocean, the pigs of the forest, the vultures of the fields and air. That's what a lot of these entities are. They serve a purpose. They're down in the composting process. That is part of the cosmos. They're the vultures of the cosmos. They're part of the compost. Whoop. Overgrow, died. Take care of it. I will. Yum, 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 yum. Go after it. This is the proper place. We're in our proper place. They're in their proper place. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing. We're doing, they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. But there's those of us who are like, oh, this is not my proper place. What did I get born into? And we're the ones Yahuwah sees, goes, whoop. We're preserving that one to come out of there. No, only pick out them that far. No, they're not full of compost. No. Save that part of them. No, I like that part. Yeah, take that part. Okay, now they're regrowing. Yep, there's more light in that one. Let's move them over here now. Yep. So that's what's kind of going on. If you can imagine that and picture it, like, look up. Yeah, who is there? Like, maneuver you, navigating. Where are you digging in your feet saying, I ain't going there. Like, I'm saving your life. Don't make me kill the entire community yet. Because, like, I have other uses for them. They got to go harass somebody else. Don't make me kill my executioner. Because they got work to do. Move on. Move. Fine. Walk ahead. So yes, these beings, we don't know how to picture them, but we are going to face them. They're not ours to fight. Like, they're the king's executioners. Unless you guys, if you're rebelling against the king, then yeah, be scared. But otherwise, start picturing it, start imagining it, like a big dog by your side, ready to use that whip and tail for anybody who comes near you. Okay, they're a horror, causing everybody else to tremble. But I'm gonna cuddle up. No, this is my friend. Yeah, I'm with the king. I'm gonna stand next to him because I know you can't get near me when that's going on. That's why people get big, scary dogs. Well, yep, it's that time. Don't want to see people suffer and die, but he's gonna do what he's gonna do. Probably won't even acknowledge me. Just walk right past me. Like, nope, I'll be in here with my candle lit, with my wind chimes, reading scripture. I don't know nothing. No, I'm just in here fasting and praying. And I don't mean to make light, but it is kind of funny, because I remember being at the racetrack. Baby daddy I got horses for riding, for pleasure, for appreciating and engaging with. He got horses to race on the racetrack. So it was harness racing. So it was a standard bred. Got a horse. Name's Pidge. Was that Pidge or was it a different one? He just went through them like crazy. It was heartbreaking. But yeah, it was Pidge, because they had the one pigeon toe. That's why it was called Pidge. But in the barn, man, my kids were leading them around, hosing them off, brushing them, feeding them, going out in the field with them. Gentlest, sweetest horse I could be. And he got moved to a stall at the racetrack to be, made ready for racing. I didn't know what that involved. I just knew Pidge was there training to, because the track was there, and so he'd have to get his muscles, exercised up, get ready for the racing season, going around the track every day, a schedule and proper feeding and, legs checked by people who knew what to look for and stuff like that. And so we go one day, and all the grooms were sitting in the barn, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go see Pidge, and they're all snickering. They're like, like, I'm foolish for going to get Pidge, take him for a walk. I'm like, I don't know, I don't care. And I open this small door, and I'm like, hey, Pidge, hey, and I put the little, tie, leash. I like forgetting the names of everything. It's been so long since I hung out with horses. So I, clip onto his harness, and I'm walking, and his feet are going up. He's full, giant 17-hand horse right next to me, and I'm just like, oh, you're such a good boy. You want to walk over here? Look at this over here. You know what I mean? And this is like, high-footed hyper horse all dancing around next to me, but perfectly contained within himself. I'm not having to yank on him. I'm just talking to him and walking. He's my best buddy, man. And I bring him back in, and the grooms are all just like, how the hell did you do that? I'm like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? They said he snaps at anybody they go to feed him. They were feeding him sheep wormer. As like, instead of a hormone that could be detected, they were feeding that boy sheep wormer. And so he was going and he was snapping at him, angry, all strung out, like on drugs. Oh, that poor thing. So, yeah, these monstrous things we're going to see. And other people will be like, oh, they're killing people, I gotta go kill them. I'm just gonna be like, No, they're only killing certain people. They're only harming certain people. Now, this is my buddy. I don't think they're gonna be on a leash around me. I don't think I'll be taking walks with them. But so all the information is there. We're just what we're capable of perceiving and imagining is not there. That's what's lacking. And so, yes, the king's executioners, Yahuwah's front guard, that nobody can control, convince, influence. I mean, of course they'd be like that. Of course we're nothing next to them. But the good news, so are the freaking draconian lizard reptilian things. Woo, they run when that thing comes near. And the Galactic Federation is not real comfortable with their presence either, but always happy when they serve the same purpose, do them a favor in achieving their goal. Like, oh, when bad is good. I mean, how could they sit there and they flat out say, yes, we are the ones who genetically manipulated you and put these limitations on you and turned you into slaves. Which brings me to the pure people. So, if you go watch one of the latest ones about, the different species that they know, where they're extending all this information about these scorpion tail things, which to them are called, and I don't want to summon them, so we're just going to say it. Gnamipo. Like, you even try to picture and imagine something, and it's like, you've got their attention. But no, I'm not imagining that it's there or anything. But that would normally be the side that something would show up on. So, if you go where you learn about them, it also talks about, I wrote it down, but I don't remember where I wrote it down. The Zionists. So, that caught my attention when I heard the Zionians. The Zionists? Like Israel? Zionism? Oh. Why people of other nations are Zionists? I gotta learn about them. The native bipedal man were what everybody else calls Bigfoot, Sasquatch, and all of that. They took, and I learned this from the pure people, and I'll tell you who the pure people are, that they took, it was affirming what I had already learned. They took the genetics of these bipedal, they're pure people because they evolved purely from Earth consciousness. Okay, they are Earth's pure children, born of Earth's consciousness. They're there to take care of the Earth, the ones who protect the forest and things like that. So these Zionesians came, again, Elohim, small e, small gods, came down, made a species that they call human, and their purpose was to govern, occupy, and govern the earth. But the ones they made started to mate and be misled by the inferior genetically modified things called humans, and got corrupted, but they're still, trying to encourage their spiritual growth so that they can govern the earth. Zionists, the Zionesians, they're here as well. That's why Zionism is such an issue. Because, well, they created theirs to rule the earth. What are you letting yours rule the earth too? Now, the pure people. When I'd experienced the presence of I am that I am, and I was obviously receiving training, and so these men, who are obviously not in this realm, came upon a field where these that look like Bigfoot, Sasquatch, they're all white though, got up out of the field. They conveyed to me telepathically, like in oneness, empathically, how these were the men, the angels that would come and like they'd have a rodeo, and they were the ones that always won, and just outdid them and everything, and were just annoying. They ruined all the fun. Like all the natives of the earth, the pure people, the indigenous, the Bigfoot were the indigenous people of the earth. The aborigines, they were the original aborigines, okay? And then these sons of God, these men, these angels would come and just, ruined all the fun, made everything a competition. And so these recruited the pure people to get a certain God's attention, to prove to them that there was consciousness in the pure people, to stop genetically modifying them and using them as slaves, because divine consciousness, that was the earth's form for divine consciousness to be embodied in. She had it covered. She knew what she was doing. She had her people. And they came like, it's Tofu and Vahu from the last ones of us that were here. It's a mess. Oh, what's this heavy thing? Let's take it up. We're going to make ourselves slaves that look more like us. I don't know. You're hairy beast. You hairy beast. I don't like you. I don't like you. Now this one's more sleek. This one looks more like us. This is what should be ruling and taking care of the earth. Oh, and we're going to make these over here, the dark-skinned ones come. We're going to make these over here look like us. We're going to put our DNA in them. They're going to be over here. They're just going to be mining for gold and stuff. You can have your rulers. We just need some nutrients out of the earth. Oh, okay. Yeah. But these ones, mine, they're going to be in charge here, okay? All right? Okay? Alright, yeah, sure, whatever, And then they all leave for a while. And then, 2,000 years, they all come back. Hey, what you doing? Why I left you in charge over here? What you doing mating with that one over there? Whoa, big mess. And in the meantime, the pure people had conveyed to me, like, as a warning, showed me what was going on. So there was, like, a UFO, flying saucer thing over a brown Sasquatch terrorizing a Native American woman who was coming out of like a community center, and the pure person just roared, "Big gun!" And woo, alien ship was off, brown one's gone fleeing, and that woman was no longer being terrorized, because the aliens enslaved the brown ones to terrorize people so that they could feed off the loosh, the adrenochrome. Their food, that's their food supply. And a lot of the brown ones, just like a lot of the dogmen, are recruited to cause that terror, strike fear in the heart of people, so that the loosh eaters, the eaters of the dust of the earth, could get their feeding. So, yes, I am one of those who is profoundly devoted to Yahuwah, with appreciation and respect in the name of Yahusha, embodying the Ruach HaKodesh, which I interacted first as the dance, but I've come to know as a womb. And I believe in Bigfoot. Bigfoot belongs here. Human beings, We're of the earth. We're the little brothers and sisters, evolutionary wise, because genetic manipulation wise, we did come from them. So we belong on the earth in that respect. If we're going to be subject to covenant and natural law, which is referred to as Ma'at, not the small g goddess, not a deity, Ma'at, but the principles of Ma'at, which is natural law. And it's just the sense of, some of us have finally said, man, that is not just, that is not righteous what happened to that person. That is familiarity with Ma'at, with natural law. And these Anunnaki, fallen watchers, fallen angels, they knew it. And if you go and you learn, you read their histories, you watch the videos about their histories, they know. Because there is debate amongst them. This is against universal law. We should not be making slaves. Genetically modified. We should not be doing this. Yes, but we need this and our people can't do it. They're not made for this kind of labor in this kind of environment. They're dying. Well, gee, maybe you don't belong there. Maybe you should go back into contract. They refused to go into contract, into covenant under Torah. And so they abandoned their planet to come steal from this planet. And we are the Nephilim. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, the pure people, those are human beings. Those are the proper inhabitants of Earth. We are Nephilim. Or whatever. There's like the next generation after the Nephilim that were giants. They were called teraphim? Teraphim. Earth is Terra in the cosmos. We're terrans. Earth is Terra. We are the teraphim. We are Earthlings who have been genetically modified. We are the pure people, the Sasquatch, that have been genetically modified by the fallen watchers who left their proper abode, their planet Nibiru. That's what we are. We are the teraphim. And we are the creatures that every gospel needs to be preached to, because the pure people don't need the gospel preached to them. Maybe some of the brown ones, maybe some of the dog ones, but we are the teraphim. And I am so glad I had the gospel preached to me, because I've been chosen. I received the mark of Elohim, Yahuwah Elohai, my God. El Shaddai, the one who told the expansion of creation, stop. That's as far as you go. These are your healthy boundaries. These are your healthy boundaries. Stop. I don't think that's bad news. I don't look at myself. Hey, I already had to come to terms with my mother telling me I'm a child of rape. Okay? It's like, oh, I'm a child of the raping of the planet Earth. Genetic modification of her children. I mean, come on. I already got over, I have no problem with this. I have no problem with this at all. None whatsoever. And hopefully my manner of conveying this helps you not have a problem with this at all either. How did the topic go from the king's executioners to a teraphim? Because this is the first time this has entered my mind. This is straight, Yahuwah instructed this to come to me. Yahuwah gave this, like, this is what needed to come out right now. I'm a teraphim. Yeah. I'm descended from nephilim, who took eggs from the pure people, added their DNA to it, and planted them in their own womb, and gave birth to us. They told the story. They took the genetic material, they took the egg from a female pure person that you all call Sasquatch and Bigfoot, added their DNA, and one of them carried it in their womb. That's how they mated with men and gave birth to us. I like the pure people. I'm with them, man. I could tell when they shared oneness, empathic relationship to convey all this teaching and understanding for me. I felt at home. I did not identify with those men, those angels, those small G's who were recruiting them for help. Prove something to this one so they stop genetically modifying everything. And I was a part of that plan. And yes, I got that one's attention. The one sitting at the top of the pyramid. The puppet master. I'm acquainted. They are no strangers. And when I go, that's because it is all just hit. Like, all the pieces, I'm running around in confusion, like, I don't know what to do with this. I don't know what to do with this. I'm like walking around with all these things in my pockets that I don't know what to do with, but they're obviously important. But I'll leave them, forget about them, and then I'll be running back like, whoa, I gotta go dig that out of my notes and out of my scraps. And I had that in my blog, and I had tried to start a web page over here, and I'm hunting for the information that I just dropped because I didn't know what to do with it. Now all of it's just coming together. We are teraphim. Hello. No shame. We're approved. We get the mark of Yahuwah with the name only He knows. That is ours. We have a name. I don't even know my own name. We have help. Angelic help can look like a very large human being that might kind of look like an ape, but stand upright like a human and speak to us telepathically and empathically. And they got to me so empathically because his mate, he was a clan leader, his mate had a small male child and an older daughter, and so the resonance was there. She became one with me and showed me what was going on. I saw through her eyes. Yahuwah probably arranged that because everybody else in the clan is running off into the trees. They're abandoning, the beds that they had laid down in the field. And they were running. And she's just kind of halfway between running. He says, go. And she's like, go. But then she turns so that I can see what's going on and get an understanding and get the story. And so they were recruited. I was part of that recruitment and used because I am more of the form and thus one that they would claim as theirs, proving that I am actually more in tune with the nature they don't want to recognize or acknowledge and reveal. Oh, son, do not do this no more. Me, no do. Amazing. All right. May this help you May this heal you. May it help you love other creatures. And stop hunting them for entertainment and thrill-seeking. Oh, there's a guy. They do it for fun. And another one boasting. Oh yeah, we have this land and we had it set apart, claimed it for the kingdom. And as we're praying up on the hill, I saw a giant. And I hollered at that giant, "You can't do no bad here." That giant might have been more righteous than that Zionist. When I heard that guy tell that story, I just wanted to cry. I'm like, you don't even know. And now I could call him a teraphim. You uneducated teraphim. How the heck do you know that that one's evil? Why didn't you feel into it? Why didn't you ask for spiritual discernment to discern the spirit in that one before you went and condemned it? Guess what? If you're going to automatically condemn anything with nephilim blood in it, you yourself are condemned. You do not qualify for the kingdom of God. Lo siento, Señor. Adios. You're not going via con Dios. No. You're adios. Mm-mm. So yes. Embrace your teraphim nature. You are part angel. You are part divine consciousness and a form native to planet Earth. They say starseed. No. The same way that I empathically and telepathically got information being in oneness with the creation story and then with the pure people, they will do that to human beings. So you feel like this is what happened to you, that this is your life story, when that's just an entity either telling the life story of somebody whose flesh they consumed, another being whose flesh they consumed, and are because like you go to vampire lore and they tell you that the life of that person, all the feelings, the emotions, the blood that they're drinking, they experience. And that's why they prefer virgins, because they aren't traumatizing themselves with the memories. And the Underworld series, yeah, I used to watch that, where he feeds off the other vampires to get the truth of what's been happening while they were taking their turn sleeping. So they can take that and draw a human being into it, especially as they're going to sleep, draw them into this experience, convey the longing and displacement for this, longing for the stars and this home that used to look like. They can put that in a human being and say, oh, you're a starseed, you don't belong on Earth, you're one of us, let us come into your house. And then you get tested on and, oh, do you want to have star babies? Do you want stars up in heaven instead of on Earth? Yeah. Okay, we're going to take your biological material. We're going to take the eggs. You have children. You have star children. They're in another world. Would you like to meet them? Yes. Be aware. Be informed. So that you no longer are perishing. Because we are perishing due to this lack of knowledge. So, the king's executioners, we are teraphim. Don't fall for the false experiences. Hallelujah.